Hello, YouTube. It is Saturday night, 11:11 p.m. Or as a dispatcher I used to work with eons ago used to like to say, a flock of ones. Saturday, October 22nd, 2022. I guess I'm headed over to the Wander Inn. I was invited to a house party tonight, but I thought I was going with somebody who I guess it's on me. Like, you know, I offered to take her. I don't know, I guess she had the invite plus one, and I had offered to take her, and she seemed pretty excited about the possibility of me picking her up and bringing her to the party, because it's on the far west side, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a vehicle. But I ended up sleeping the entire day away, and she didn't contact me back. So, and even if she did, like, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. So, as I was out, yeah, I didn't wake up until, I don't know, well after 10 p.m. I've been laying in bed for a while. Made a couple sandwiches. Oh shit, I really should have fed the cats. Didn't do that. Priscilla showed up and fed the cats at about, what time? I want to say 3 in the morning. So, I'm trying to remember when my last vlog was. It's been a while. I haven't felt like shooting video the last couple of days, really. I don't know, I think my last one was, I guess it'd just be yesterday, Friday, driving over to Bullock's. So Friday at Bullock's was good. Got quite a bit of karaoke work done. Worked on Ween as I was expecting I would. Got LMLYP added for karaoke. Also added quite a few other Ween songs that I really, really like, including Drift, Take Me Away. I was gonna see Drifter in the Dark. I don't think I added that one. I'm sitting on that one, but I didn't add that one. I added Take Me Away and She Wanted to Leave, which that's a really odd song that's surprisingly deeper than it looks like on the surface. At least it was to me as I was listening to it again, and then listening to the karaoke while I played it. In fact, I was getting so into the stuff I was adding for karaoke at one point I went ahead and hooked up a single mic. That way I could at least sing along with the stuff in my headphones, which is something I don't often do, but I ended up drinking 3 pitchers of beer while I was there, so, you know, by pitcher number 3, like, that just felt amazing, you know. Wasn't particularly socializing with people that were there. I don't do that well, I guess. Even when I'm at a place where I'm surrounded by people, I tend to be off by myself doing my own thing, which is probably what I'm headed to Wander Inn to do. I consider just staying home and setting my computer back up and working the music and maybe working on cleaning, but as depressed as I feel tonight, I know I won't get anything done. If anything, I'll just lay in bed and manage to just fall back asleep out of sheer, I don't know, I can't really explain what it is, but when I'm depressed like this, like, I can just make myself fall back asleep. I can just lay in bed and I'm out. And I've slept away entire weeks of my life that way before. At this point in my life, I still got enough self-preservation going on to know that if I skip out on that much work, I'll be completely fucked. And I do manage to force myself to get up and go to Amazon most of the time. Notwithstanding, like, the middle of last August, where I pretty much fucked on my PTO and UTP, just not showing up. I was actually thinking about going to Amazon tonight. I was hoping I could do like a midnight 30 to 5:30 a.m. half shift, but I thought they'd fix that bug in the system where that wouldn't like me already being scheduled for a night shift, 7 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. the following day wouldn't conflict as me already working that day. But I checked the app and it didn't, which is weird because I could have sworn I've seen other people that I've talked to other people that were able to do those shifts, but it certainly didn't let me do it. And I saw a shift I should have been able to take, and it said, maximum shifts for the day exceeded. So whatever, it's nothing I can fix, and I've already learned the hard way that if I go to if I go to Amazon and just try to talk to anybody, if I'm not on a scheduled shift, the security won't let me in the door, so I don't even have the option of going in and trying to talk to HR about it. Priscilla's vehicle is here. I don't even want to fucking be around her, so I'm just gonna drive on. Fucking ruining my bar for me as well. And she literally lives walking, like I live walking distance from this bar, and I often choose to walk, but like it's a 5-minute drive versus about a 20-minute walk. But I mean, she literally lives a half block from this intersection I'm at right now. So I don't know, I guess her trip is, it's not safe for a woman to walk. Whatever. I mean, admittedly, there are some sketchy people that wander along McDowell, but yeah, it's I don't buy that it's not safer to walk home. So yeah, So generally speaking, I had a good time at Bullock's yesterday, but I just generally kept to myself. I did go out and sit with Susie and a couple of her younger attractive co-workers. For a while, I was kind of trying to socialize with them, but at one point they were like not so subtle at telling me, well, they're having a girls' night out. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go back to working on my music. Although I couldn't help but notice it later while I was working at my music that there were 2 other guys sitting at that table and they weren't running them off, so obviously they're more welcome than I am. All right, point taken, bitches. God. Yeah, that's frustrating, to say the least. Around the time I was leaving, I did notice, well, actually, she came over and said hi to me sooner, but I talked to her a little bit before I left. Jazzy was still there. I really like Jazzy. I feel way more interested in her than Priscilla at this point. Although I don't feel like that's going anywhere either. At one point she was sitting alone at a table, and this is after I had packed up all my stuff. I was actually, thank God, like the band and stuff was kind of late showing up because I was sort of late at getting all my stuff packed up, and fortunately I didn't create a situation where my stuff was in their way. But she, in fact, I ended up waving at DJ Cat as she was coming in, as I was like outside the building throwing my suitcase into my car. Suitcase with my karaoke system, computer and system in it. Anyway, I don't know what these lights are on the left here. Street sweeper on the wrong side of the road, maybe? No, it is a fire truck. Looks like paramedics are at those ghetto. Oh yeah, no, fire truck and a paramedic truck at those ghetto apartments. And that needs to be one of the next destinations for Big Super living in Arizona, whose last few YouTube episodes have really been focusing on just really shitty ghetto places to live and how ridiculously expensive they are. The one that most took me back was he showed these really trashy 3 people living in a teeny tiny like studio type hotel room that doesn't even have a working stove in a god-awful part of Mesa, and they're paying, now granted it includes all utilities and possibly even laundry service, but they're paying I think they said $600 a week to live there. Can't even fathom that. And the guys, I mean, Big Super's just got a gift to just be really kind to everybody, but man, those people were just like really, really trashy people. It's amazing that I just was amazed at these people talking about it, they've been in prison, and I'm amazed that they're not back there already. And I would imagine just by watching them in the video that they're on their way back to prison. They just seem like those kind of people. I mean, dude showing the scars on his knuckles or sores on his knuckles from smashing somebody's teeth. You know, that's not civilized behavior. And the way he described it was certainly not a self-defense issue. It was, had to teach him a lesson. Yeah, that's not a civil education method, dude. Come on now. And of course they're both just full of gang tattoos. Yeah, these people are trash. It still seems wrong for them to be paying so much though for housing. Anyway. So yeah, after that I went alone to Osbar because I was already pretty drunk and I was really in the mood to sing some stuff that's on karaoke version. And I did do quite a bit of singing at Osbar. Not as much as I'd like to because they had a pretty big rotation, but I really wanted to go there to support Dwayne. Dwayne actually showed up to my show, doing the Friday Night Karaoke host at Osbar. He actually showed up to my show on Thursday night for like the last hour and a half of the shows. So definitely wanted to kind of go back and support his show and thank him for coming out again anyway, I was kind of surprised Susie came by for a while there. I mean, she didn't hang out very long. At one point she wanted to sing a song with me, but that never happened because the rotation was so big, and I mean, I don't know how old Susie is, but I feel like she's pushing 70, and yeah, that's late for her. I mean, not only is that late for her, because of her age, but wow, there's nowhere to park back here. It's also late for her because she works a job where she has to be into work at like the butt crack of dawn, so like it messes with her sleep schedule. Like I don't think she has to be to work on a Saturday, so she's able to stay out later, drink more, I'm pretty sure, but still, like, I think she worked Friday. In fact, I know she worked Friday day shift because her and her rather attractive female friends, there's 3 of them. 2 of them I know their names, one of them is younger, and it was her first day hanging out with them. Well, I don't know where I'm going to park. There's no available parking here. And I expect Tidal Max will tow people if they park for the bar over there. So I'll park around the block in the residential neighborhood. I wonder if they're still doing Saturday night karaoke over at that little shithole on 36th Street. I think it's called Cats. I haven't been there in a long time. Although, the last time I did go over to Hideaway, I had a really good time. I met a few really attractive black women that at first were like super flirty with me, and then of course they had to go. It's always the story. Oh, we gotta go. I'll see you later though. Sure you will. Sure you will. Of course I told them where my show was, and none of them showed up at my show. But to most people that live here, Bullocks is an impossibly far distance away, even though most of them drive, and as long as the freeways are clear, it's only about a 15-minute drive, if that. Oh damn, they still haven't got the bulk trash picked up over here, so in a few places I feel like I could park. There's trash. I guess I can park here. iPhone's about dead. Run a charging cable, but I don't think there's a place to plug the charging cable in at this bar. Do I have my charger on me? Feeling in my pocket to see if I got a charger on me. I don't think I do. I'm kind of worried I left my headphones over at Volok's. I'm going to be really crushed if I lost my good Sennheisers again. I was pretty... Yeah, I wasn't thinking very clearly when I left. I feel like I walked out with my suitcase and didn't go back for my other stuff. Although, I don't know. I know my little Bluetooth speaker made it with me, but I think I clipped that onto my belt with this little clip thingy. That guy's talking on the phone. I thought it was this guy loudly talking to himself. Nope, that would be me. So, gosh, I'm almost to the bar. I guess I'll finish up my story. So anyway, long, boring story short. Susie bounced out pretty quickly, and of course, I didn't meet any single women at Oz Bar because that is a gay bar. And I did tell Susie, the reason because we were talking. She had asked about one guy that was there, who was an exceptionally good singer, but I saw him coming in with a woman who I would assume was his wife, the kind of body language and the way they were walking together. And she asked, "Hey, do you think that guy's gay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm reasonably sure he came in with his wife." She was interesting. I said, "Yeah, I think some people just come here because this bar has a good vibe and it's pretty fun karaoke for a Friday night." I said, certainly I definitely prefer women and would love to be out with a woman, but at this point it's less depressing for me to be here surrounded by a bunch of gay dudes singing karaoke than it is to be out at a bar where everybody's straight, but all the women have absolutely zero interest in me. This is less depressing to me. And leaves me feeling a whole lot less suicidal when I leave alone at the end of the night. And I don't know if those words really register with her, but that's kind of, that kind of sums it up, like why I like going there, as opposed to, going to other places. Anyway, after she left, I went to the patio because I was feeling pretty alone. Like usually, at least there's some of the gay dudes that hang out there that I recognize and I chat with, but that wasn't really happening either. Anyway, at one point I completely dozed off. On the back patio, and somebody shook me. I was like, "Hey, you can't sleep here," which is embarrassing. And I'm sure part of that was just the amount I've been drinking, and part of that was just me being tired. My work shift at Amazon and my work schedule at Amazon kind of translates into me. I just often don't sleep very well in the daytime, even with the additional time that I'm able to afford myself by driving versus riding the bus as I was doing before. I just don't sleep well. Which reminds me, I was hearing this thing on KTAR where they were talking about in men over 50, or I think they said people over 50. I heard men, I'm pretty sure they said people over 50. People over 50 who get less than 7 hours of sleep at night. They did say at night. I like how there's never any allowance for people who sleep in the day. I think it's just assumed those who sleep in the day are setting themselves up for an early death anyway. But those who get less than 7 hours continuous sleep at night are exponentially more likely to come down with life-threatening illnesses soon. I forget the exact details, but it was some pretty depressing statistics, and boy, did I just slide right into there. Although, if you want to get technical, I don't get any sleep at night because I'm a day sleeper. So, although at this point, I mean, is an early death such a bad thing? I mean, seriously, what am I living for at this point? I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any healthier. Every year, every week, I'm just a little more lonely and a little more aware of the fact that I don't really have, much left in life to look forward to. I mean, my teeth are falling out, my hair is falling out. Body's not as firm and attractive as it used to be, although I do seem to have a better than average physique for my age, so there's that. But generally speaking, the women that I find attractive aren't attracted to me. And the woman I can think of off the top of my head that really does want to sleep with me, I am so not physically attracted to her that the last opportunity to have to do that, I couldn't even get it up for her. Just no. Just no. Sorry, and how does one nicely say that? Sorry, you've just let your body, get too big and lumpy for me to be sexually attracted to you. Sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, I'm keenly aware with the state of the economy, and took a blanket from some homeless people there. Of course, it's not really light enough for this Obamaphone camera to capture it. I'm walking through, I forget the name of this park, but this is one of the ones that's recently had a lot of features on it about homeless people in it. And I do think the Phoenix PD has run most of the homeless people out. People camping under the tree right there. And a couple people camping under a tree on the left. I see some people camping under the tree over there too, I think. My vision is so shitty these days. That was a question what I think I see. So yeah, a lot of my depression just does revolve around just the lack of a lover these days. It seemed like for a while Priscilla was still kind of filling that role, but I mean, last weekend, she came over and gave it up Thursday before my karaoke show last week, and that was kind of quick and not not everything I'd like, but that was a good start. It certainly had me in a much better place mentally going to my show, and in a much better place mentally through the show, and to the point that when we definitely got some squatters under the picnic thingy there. She I kind of figured I would be spending the night with her like over the weekend, and that there would be some bedroom fun involved in that. And so consequently, when I went home alone after my show last week, I did, wasn't bothered by it at all. I'm just like, well, all right, well, Priscilla and I are on, and that's always been, when she wants to do it, I've always been satisfied with her sexually. That's the big deciding factor, is when she wants to do it, which lately it's nowhere near enough. And so anyway, she and then of course last weekend was just, I just felt like what little bit of time I tried to spend with her, she just wasted my time. I mean, brought me over there saying that she needed me to help her move something to a store, but she had dinner ready for me and stuff, thinking, okay, well, help her move something to a store, and then there'll be, you know, sex and dinner. There wasn't dinner, and she made it clear that there wasn't going to be any sex, and the store that she needed to go to said the person that she needed to see there wasn't working, so not there. Oh yeah, we definitely got some squatters and shopping carts full of garbage here. That's lovely. So yeah, they haven't completely eradicated the issue here. Wow. It's definitely less people than used to be at this park, but yeah, there's definitely some issues at this park. And interestingly enough, this isn't the intersection where Phoenix is putting in the Hawk. I do think this is the intersection where a couple homeless people died trying to cross the street, although it might be the next intersection up. I don't know, to me it makes sense that they would put the Hawk at the intersection where the park is, you know, to cross 32nd Street. And here we have another bus stop where Phoenix has removed the bench to stop homeless people from squatting on bus benches, which of course punishes the people who legitimately ride the bus by giving them nowhere to sit and wait for the bus. And you can tell how much people value this neighborhood by all the graffiti on the Family Dollar store here. That's fucking lovely. There's somebody riding on a scooter. That's fucking cool. Fucking love electric scooters. I need to get one of mine working again. I really miss riding an electric scooter. And I don't even know where that would fit in my lifestyle at this point, because I certainly live too far from work to ride an electric scooter to either of my jobs. Actually, that's not true, come to think of it. Well, this is interesting. They've scrubbed out the little yield triangles with the stop line there. Wow, I wonder if they got this Hawk working. Yeah, and the news article about the two homeless people that were killed crossing, of course they were probably spun out on fentanyl. I'm sure that was part of the problem. I gotta love this. We got a crosswalk here connecting to no sidewalk. We have curb, no sidewalk, and person's front fence going right to the curb. So people have to walk on the street here on Yale Street. Phoenix should really be working on that shit. Yeah, the Hawk is working now. Cool. Cool. See if people actually stop for it. All right. Will that guy stop? That guy looks like he's gonna stop. Cool. I'm glad to see it. Glad to see that after two people dying, the city of Phoenix finally got around to getting this finished. The news article I saw about it, they're basically saying that it was because of that the contractor was the one that wasn't getting it done on time. They pretty much put the blame on the contractor, and the contractor put the blame on supply chain issues, which is probably all legit stuff, but it doesn't change the fact that two people died. But then again, the two people that died, you know, was that a great loss? They were both homeless fentanyl junkies, and they interviewed some family of the people that died. And one thing, you know, reading between the lines of those interviews, one thing that became clear is that those people did have family support that wanted them to come home and live in their home and help them out and get clean and get jobs, but that those people would rather do fentanyl and live in the park over there. So yeah, believe it or not, for a lot of people, homelessness is a choice. It's something they're choosing to do. Wow, that's kind of sus looking. So I wonder what's up with all these bicycles just strapped to this strip mall sign with extra tires and shit. That's weird. Weird hood shit. Anyway, yeah, so last weekend, as I explained in my vlogs, I ended up just getting frustrated and not staying the night with Priscilla, because if I'm going to be in bed not having sex, I'd rather be in my own bed by myself not having sex. And And then the next day I pretty much ignored her, like when she kind of tried to contact me. It's like, you know, you can't, I don't know where her female logic is, but you can't deny me on that level and expect that when you call me, I'm going to want to answer your call. Really? What makes you, where's the logic there? And of course, she was trying to call me yesterday. And no, I didn't answer the calls. I mean, for starters, I don't like talking on the phone. And I've been telling her this for, 12 years-ish. Send me a text. I don't like talking on the phone. And she knows most of the time I'm in places where it would be rude for me to talk on the phone or too loud for me to talk on the phone anyway. Nah, she makes calls but doesn't text. I'm not calling back to find out why she called, because 90% of the time I really don't give a fuck. I mean, if she's got something to say to me, she can send me a text message. And until whatever it is that she has to say to me is important enough for her to type it out, I'm not in the slightest bit concerned about it. Not chasing after you. You've made way too much of a habit of denying me sex and luring me over to your place saying that you got dinner ready when you don't. So, yeah, no. I've got better things to do with my life, including but not limited to just wandering around the hood shooting video. Honestly, I'd rather be alone doing this than at her place in the mess, not eating dinner, not getting laid. So, whatever. So anyway, on to this weekend. Yeah, dozed off at Osbar. Ended up I sang one more song and I was like, well, I better bounce out. And drove over to Wander Inn. Ended up dozing off there while singing karaoke. I only had one beer there, which I barely made it through. I didn't really need anything else. And I should have probably just went home, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did go there. My friend Corey showed up looking for me. Not that we really got to hang out much together, because I know he kind of wanted to hang out afterwards. And as I ended up falling asleep again at Wander Inn, I'm like, no, he had asked about going out to Speedy Street Tacos. At this point, their burrito that I get is like $12. I can't afford the $12. But no, I went home, and I probably would have been instantly asleep when I went home. But maybe about 20 minutes later, as I was almost asleep, I hear that quiet knock on my back door, which is the sound of Priscilla. And in the past, I've always, and again, I always answer that, because generally speaking, if she shows up knocking up, I mean, that's a booty call. I think every guy recognizes woman that you've been involved with knocking at your door at 3 a.m. after bar close is a booty call. That's kind of universally understood as a booty call. So, and especially considering she didn't text and say she was coming over. Didn't text and say why she needed to come over. She just shows up. Okay, cool. Well, she's like, oh, I want to feed the cats. That's fine. I came in tired and drunk, didn't feed the cats. So yeah, by all means, feed the cats. And I'm laying in bed. At this point, I'm already naked. Like, I answered the door naked. And I'm laying there, and she comes in bed. After she's done with the cats and stuff, she comes in bed and slides up to me in bed. And as she slides into the bed, it slides her leggings down past, down, off, and down past her thigh, which seems like a pretty open invitation to me. And at which point I start kind of feeling her up and rubbing on her and stuff. And then suddenly, no, I'm not, no, you can't have that. Really? Then why the fuck are you here? Oh, well, I needed to feed the cats and get a vacuum and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you didn't text me that you needed that. 3 o'clock's not a good time for that. Well, I figured you'd be home. Yeah, trying to sleep. God, would have been epic if I'd have been home with another woman. At any rate, next time she shows up like that, I'm just simply not answering the door. Anyway, her leaving like that has put me in such a funk that I just didn't wake up today. And now here I am, wandering around 32nd Street in Thomas. I'm gonna go over and try to cheer myself up at the Hideaway. Maybe I'll meet somebody who wants to rock my world, at least for a night. Stranger things have happened.